Melkor, the original Dark Lord of Middle-earth. After sowing discord in the creation of the world, he became a force of chaos upon its inhabitants. Today, on Mythical Middle-earth, we begin an in-depth exploration of Tolkien's most malevolent and powerful Dark Lord. In this chapter, we'll dive into his origins and early conquests, setting the stage for the second part, which will cover his wars and downfall. In the beginning, Eru Ilúvatar, the supreme being of Tolkien's world, brought forth the Ainur, angelic spirits divided into the Valar and the Maiar. Melkor, the mightiest of the Valar, sought power beyond any other. He became impatient to fill the void with his own creations and searched relentlessly for the Flame Imperishable, the mysterious source of life known only to Eru. Unable to find the Flame Imperishable as it existed with Eru alone, Melkor grew rebellious. He wanted to create life himself, but lacked the ability. Instead, he could only corrupt and twist the creations of others, a theme that would echo throughout his history. When the Ainur gathered to bring the universe into existence through song, Melkor disrupted the harmonious theme of Ilúvatar. He wove his own discordant notes into the music, which caused some of the Ainur to follow his lead. For a time, the melodies of Ilúvatar and Melkor clashed in an overwhelming struggle for dominance. Eru Ilúvatar responded with a second theme, more powerful and beautiful than the first. Yet Melkor opposed it even more violently, and many of the Ainur stopped singing in awe and fear of what was unfolding. At last, Eru unleashed a third theme, one so beautiful and pure that Melkor could not hope to defeat it. Though he persisted, Eru ended the music with a powerful chord that silenced all. Shamed and angered by this rebuke, Melkor concealed his hatred. Soon after, he and the other Ainur were granted entry into Aya, the universe they had helped create. Among the Ainur was Manwë, Melkor's brother, who feared that Melkor would attempt to dominate Arda, the world they had now entered. And thus, the conflict between the two brothers began. When Melkor arrived in Arda, he immediately declared himself its ruler. Manwë and the other Valar, however, refused to accept this claim and summoned more Ainur to assist in shaping the world. Melkor, resentful, left them and retreated into the remote regions of the universe. As the Valar worked to build Arda, Melkor's sabotage began. He undermined their efforts by demolishing mountains, altering valleys, and flooding seas. All the Valar responsible for much of the crafting of Arda saw many of his creations destroyed by Melkor's malice. After countless years of battle, the other Ainur who had stayed with Eru learned of the war. In response, Tulkas, the most warlike of the Valar, arrived in Arda. His mere presence caused Melkor to flee before his laughter and wrath. Melkor retreated beyond the walls of night, but his hatred for Tulkas remained, festering for ages to come. Time during this age is measured in Valyan years, with one Valyan year equating to over 9.5 years. From the Valar's arrival in Arda in Valyan Year 1 to Melkor's flight in Valyan Year 1499, over 14,000 years passed. As Melkor fled, the Valar completed Arda, raising 2 great lamps to bring light to the world. They resided in Almaran, their first home on Arda. However, Melkor was not idle during his exile. He gathered a following among the Maiar, including Sauron, who would become his most loyal lieutenant. These dark Maiar became his spies, ensuring he remained a threat to the world of Arda. During a celebration held by the Valar, as Tulkas married Nessa, Melkor returned, entering Arda over the walls of night. In the Iron Mountains of the north, he constructed the fortress of Utumno, from which his evil spread throughout the land. Death and decay began to take hold of Arda, and the once peaceful world descended into chaos. The Valar realized that Melkor had returned. The Valar began to search for Melkor, but he struck first. He destroyed the 2 lamps, Iluin and Ormal, causing the lands of Arda to be broken apart and the seas to rise in violent tumult. The world's shape was forever changed, and the Valar were forced to abandon Almaran, crossing the sea to Aman, where they founded the city of Valinor. In Aman, the Valar created 2 new sources of light, the 2 trees, Telperion and Laurelin, ushering in a new era known as the Years of the Trees. Though Melkor roamed freely in Middle-earth, the Valar continued to watch from afar, occasionally intervening when his malice grew too great. Ulmo, the Lord of Waters, and Orome, the Huntsman, frequently ventured into Middle-earth, resisting Melkor's growing influence. Meanwhile, in Utumno, Melkor bred terrible monsters and created the Balrogs, fearsome spirits of flame and shadow. He also built another fortress, Angband, and placed Sauron in command there. In the year 1050, the first elves awoke at Cuiviénen, and it was Melkor who found them first. He terrified them, capturing and torturing many. From these captives, it is believed that Melkor created the Orcs, a twisted mockery of the elves. When the Valar discovered the existence of the elves, Manwë decreed it was time to take action. In 1090, the Valar marched to Middle-earth and launched a great war against Melkor. The landscape of the Northwest was ruined in their titanic struggle. In 1099, after a long siege, the Valar finally broke into Utumno. Tulkas captured Melkor, binding him in chains forged by Ole. Although the Valar destroyed Utumno, some of Melkor's servants, including Sauron and many Balrogs, escaped to the deepest recesses of Middle-earth. With Melkor in chains, the Valar took him back to Valinor, where he was cast into the Halls of Mandos to serve a sentence of 3 ages. Yet even in captivity, Melkor's malice lingered, and he plotted his eventual return. The tale of Melkor, now called Morgoth, the Black Foe, would continue, leading to even greater conflicts in Arda's future. Thus ends today's tale, a glimpse into the shadows where Melkor first spread his malice across Arda. If you wish to follow this journey through the ancient lore, then take up the mantle and subscribe to our fellowship. Turn the notifications bell to wakefulness, so you are never caught unawares when the next chapter unfolds. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let your voice be heard among the wise and learned of mythical Middle-earth. Until next we meet, May the light of Arundel guide your path.